Hello, my peeps. You can hear my squeaky chair in the background. It is Tracey Stewart here, Stampin' Up! Demonstrator and the paper pusher. Once again, trying to figure out where are my YouTube comments. It would be really nice if one of these times they were actually where they were supposed to be when they were supposed to be there. Oh, hello, folks. I almost forgot it was Wednesday today. I've had a few things going on. The worst of which is my son has the flu. And it was all the different symptoms, and it was bad enough the last couple of days. And then I thought, oh, maybe it's this. And we have mice in our garage because, you know, who doesn't need that as a problem? And so then I thought, what are the symptoms of hantavirus? Don't ever Google symptoms. Don't. Because the answer you get for hantavirus, not good. And he didn't have those symptoms. Well, he had a couple of them, but he had cold and flu symptoms, let's face it. But it was just it was some stuff on the internet is just terrifying. So we don't want that. But it was bad. And then I thought, well, maybe it's tonsillitis. I was having a discussion with a dear friend, Tamara, and I used to have tonsillitis all the time as a kid, like a few times a year, and it was horrible. And then I had my tonsils out, and that was the end of it. So I just thought, he gets tonsillitis all the time. Is that something that could be hereditary? Like, you know, crappy tonsils? Is that something you pass on to your kids? I don't know. So, so anyways, my mind was, you know, there it went. He did test negative to COVID, so I figured it wasn't that. And he didn't really have typical, but I don't think there's typical anymore. So anyways, that was most of my day, and going to the doctor and logging in and then leaving and coming back later, because the walk-in clinic in town will just phone you and say, yeah, it's about a 2-hour wait. We'll call you 15 minutes before it's your turn, which they did. And about an hour and a half later, we were done. So 15 minutes, they might have been slightly off on their estimates, but at least we didn't have to sit there for 2 hours and wait. So I will let you know that I spent most of yesterday fighting with the printer that all of a sudden just decided it wasn't going to print color anymore. I did software checks, many head cleanings, something else I was supposed to do, looked for new drivers and software. Everything was up to date. I have it on automatic. And finally, I Googled enough things and clicked on enough buttons that I found something called power cleaning, and it worked. But I forgot, I spent my computer when I went to turn it on today just spooled for like a half an hour. So I was so busy trying to figure out what to do and should I change it, that I didn't really print much stuff. But I'm so excited. I printed one sheet just to find out if it actually worked, because it was loud last night, and I thought, whatever it's doing, it is power cleaning, whatever. So I don't actually have a ton prepared for this evening. I have a lot of show and tell for you, and then there's a bunch of things coming up. And one of them I was trying to multitask, and I was trying to look on my computer at the same time as I was talking, and I have established that is just not a thing I can do. Because we got a how come I can't find the YouTube button on here? There we go. We got a little, you know, update on our Stampin' Up! Page today, the demonstrator page. They gave us a sneak peek of the next set of online exclusives that we could see. And you can't even order them till the 7th of November. As demonstrators, we can order them next week, so a limited amount. And then we only see a couple things that are coming out. There's more that will come out on the 7th of November. But the one thing that's coming out is so freaking adorable that I was actually going to go, you know, even though it's a ways down the road, I'm still going to show you. But the thing is gone. The message is gone. I can't find it anymore. I can't find any pictures. So I guess that's not going to happen. And I'm trying to see if I can see comments on here, but I can't. So And on my YouTube, nothing is happening. So that is unfortunate because I would like to know if I am frozen or if it just looks like that on there. But I will go forward until somebody can message me otherwise. And just see what happens. So that was a long ramble. What's up this Wednesday? See, look, color. Everybody's very excited. Okay, so let's do the businessy stuff first. First off, I never did print a picture of the Hanukkah set. I just realized when I do that. Now, if I didn't tell you what I was doing, maybe you wouldn't notice. But when I do that, I just realized that that's just like, that's the girls making their debut. Probably not their debut. Probably not the first time I've done that. Okay, so on any given day, getting the starter kit is a really good deal. If your order is $116, if you were going to order $116 of anything you wanted, and you put 11% shipping and 5% GST, because Alberta, we only have the 5%. So if you're listening from somewhere other than Alberta, sorry, your order comes to $135.20. So on a good day, you can pay $135, no shipping, no tax, and get $165 worth of stuff. So instead of 116, you get 130 or 165, which is like what, $59 more? I should have done the math first because now I'm really tired. I can't think. No, $49 more. It's more, and you're still basically you're paying 135 or 135.20. So that's a really good deal. Well, Stampin' Up, because they want to celebrate their 35th anniversary, which is this year. And the Stampin' Up year starts in October and wings around to the end of September. So things are just kind of wrapping up. We have a demonstrator event called On Stage that's in November. And that's sort of the last big, I think, 35th anniversary celebration. And then next year we move on. Because I think it was a September or an October that they actually started the company. So 35% off of the $135, and you still get the $165. That's one offer. So that's this one. So instead of paying $135, you pay $87.75, and you still get $165 worth of stuff. So it's a flat rate, $87.75, which is a good deal. Or you can get 35% more in your thing. So instead of getting, sorry, seriously, I'm trying to do two things at once, and holy cow, am I failing miserably tonight. Usually I can do two things at once, but I can't right now. Let me just finish typing one thing. I was trying to get the next thing ready. So you could get $222.75 worth of stuff for the same $135. So either one of those would be a deal. But wait, there's more. Oh, I don't remember the name of that guy, but those infomercials from when I was a kid, they've obviously left a great imprint on my brain. So yeah, in addition to that, at least in North America, you also get a free paper pumpkin kit. It's just something current, like we don't know what it is ahead of time. It's one of the ones that's somewhat recent, but a paper pumpkin kit is $34 plus tax, so it's almost $36 for a paper pumpkin kit. So you get one of those tossed in, so you can check those out if you haven't already and get a feel for what those are. But because it's the 35th anniversary and because it's a deal, because they're just, partying down, getting a starter kit with this deal also gets you free registration to On Stage. Now, On Stage this year is there's lots of changes. We'll talk demonstrator events another day. It's going to be a virtual one. It's a one-day virtual event. And then starting in March, they're going back to being like the 3-day live events, one a year. They've been doing some adjustments to the schedule and coming up with new plans and stuff. So it's going to be virtual. So for the one day though, and what they do is they show you basically it's a preview of the next catalog coming out. So the catalog, the January to June mini catalog, and they'll show you the product, show you how it works, plus all the celebration items. You get sneak peeks of all of them. They'll tell you about it, show you how. But by going to On Stage, you also get to order earlier than even other demonstrators who didn't go. So plus it's such a fun time. Like it's just a great day. It's very inspirational. It's very creative. It's lots of fun. So registration for that costs $102. They're throwing that in for free. So you can either have $165 worth of stuff, plus a paper pumpkin kit. You also get about $55 worth of business supplies. So you get some catalogs and some envelopes and some things, which you don't have to do the business. You don't have to do anything with. But if you did want to like pass out the catalogs to your friends or whatever, just so they can see them, so they can party, just so they can get ideas, whether they order from you or not. So, but you do get a bunch of other stuff that you can use. So yeah, you get $165 worth of stuff, a paper pumpkin, a bunch of business supplies, $102 registration to that, plus all of the cool stuff that comes with being a demonstrator. And I can make a 4-hour video on that, I'm sure, for $87.75. Or you can get $222.75 worth of stuff, plus the business supplies, plus the paper pumpkin kit, plus the free registration, all for $135 flat rate. This is simple math, folks. So I wanted to make sure everybody knew about that. And here's my system. If you join and if you sign up under me, you're technically on my team of demonstrators. My team, then we have one, small and mighty. And if you want to build a business, whether it's what I do or just a version of it, or just sell to your family and friends, or just do like one class a month at the local senior center, children's center, school with the teacher, I don't know, whatever version of business you want to do, I'll help you. If you just want to order your own supplies and get them at the demonstrator discount, because once you sign up, then you can turn around like 10 minutes later and order. And you know those things I told you that were coming out new that we get to pre-order starting next week? You can add those to your starter kit. I think I forgot to mention, this starter kit runs from the 3rd of October to the 31st of October. So that would be Tuesday to whatever the 31st of October is this year. I think it's a Tuesday as well, actually, because for some reason my son has Halloween as a PD day. And I think it was a Tuesday because it seemed like a weird day for a PD day. But anyways, yeah, you can turn around and order right in there. And then you just get everything at, 20% off as your demonstrator discount or more, depending what you do. Or you can buy the kit one time, never place an order, never open the demo site, never do a single thing. Whichever one of those options you choose, I'll help you or I'll leave you alone, whatever you want. The first two options, if you just want to buy the kit once and you want to just buy your own stuff, I will basically just tell you, hey, did you see you can order this now? Look at what's on sale. Look at this deal. Here's how you get this for free. And I will tell you anything that will benefit you to get you more craft stuff for free. It doesn't benefit me, benefits you. If you want to build a business, though, I am happy to help you do that. I can tell you the many, many things I've learned in 13 years. I am also part of a bigger team called Tamara's Trailblazers, who are awesome, with an awesome leader, one of the top performers in the country. And we are part of Stampin' Up Canada. And Stampin' Up Canada is part of the bigger global Stampin' Up. There are resources and stuff, and I'll tell you all that stuff if you want. If you want me just to say, here's a one-time deal, I want this kit, please don't ever call me again. I won't. So don't be worried about that demonstrator part of it. This is a smoking hot deal. Okay. As you can tell, I'm very passionate about being a demonstrator. I'm probably more passionate about getting a good deal. So there's that. I did not make a card. Events coming up. I haven't had a lot of people who've been able to make the morning class. I've had a couple lovely sessions with just like one-on-ones making cards, and it's been fantastic. But the daytime time does not work as well I thought there'd be shift workers, work from home, but it's not working so well. But I've had some people request night times. So we're going to go from 6 to 8. So I've switched it to tomorrow night for September. We're doing some fall stuff. In October, I want to say the 12th, we're going back to the second Thursday, which is when it's supposed to be, from 6 to 8 at night. We are doing some military and some Remembrance Day type cards. And this is a retired set. And actually, you guys can vote now. This is one of the cards we're making. I love this set. I can't part with it. I come from a military family. We were all in the military at one point, and one of my favorite flowers is poppies. So these are just two different methods of coloring, but one has a black base and one has a white base. And so you could color it either way. I just can't decide which base I like better. So those are the envelopes. I'm going to drop those. So that's one of the cards we're making in October, and then some military and another poppy card. Because we should always thank the military every day, not just in November, but every day. And then the November and December midweek escapes are going to be Christmas cards. So I don't have a poster printed yet because I just finally got the printer to work again. On the 7th is World Card Making Day. So I don't have the proper but this is what they send you. So if you want to do it and you want to register, they tell you ahead of time that these are the 3 bundles they're using. This is the new one I got, and I've used this punch a whole bunch already. And then they give you all the card measurements so that you can get everything ready ahead of time. And then you can watch the virtual event, which is from 2 until 5 on the afternoon of the 7th of October, and craft along if you want. And then my last one, sorry, I keep moving stuff because I'm going to find out by the time I'm done moving all these show and tell things everywhere that it's not going to work. I'm going to show you how to do one like small little craft thing, but mostly it is just show and tell. Very cute. 4th of November. I can fit a few more people in, but here's the thing you need to know. The cards that you use to make this, I did have some people register. Sorry, I'm leaning behind because I forgot that particular show and tell item. I did have some people register, so I already have bought, for anybody who's already registered, I already bought the supplies, which is a good thing. These are still in stock, but they're awesome card bases. So you get a pack. This is what comes with, like with your price of admission, a pack of card bases. There's 10 red, 10 blue, and envelopes. So 20 card bases. You get these awesome little sequins, self-adhesive shimmery sequins. They're so much fun to play with. That comes with it. And then a set of these cards. These are somebody else's, so I'm not going to pop them open. I did look though. I put it in one of my pieces of something. I think there's 56 or something cards in here. I counted. Oh, 54. Look at that. Woohoo. So there's 54 cards, and then there's 4 sheets in there with the stickers. So you can basically use these, cut them apart, add them onto here. I've got the stamp set, the punch, the extra DSP. I'll show you how to make them into cards. We just sit and craft for the day. These are sold out right now. These are coming back in October. So if you want to register for this class, you do have till the 20th of October to do it. But let me know now, because I want to say the 6th of October, but I could just be pulling that date out of my you know what. These cards have come back. So as soon as these cards come back in stock, I want to order them. 1, so they get here in time, but 2, so they don't sell it again. So I can. So yeah, let me know right away if you want to come to this class. But this, oh my goodness, this addictive set. I've been having so much fun with it. Speaking of stocking items though, so the stars, which I love, let me see. This is all I have. I can only show you an open package. So these stars had sold out at like by 3 o'clock in the morning on the day the catalog launched. They sold out. And then they came back in stock last week, and they were supposed to be back in stock this week, but they came in a week early. Or sorry, I'm out by a week. They came in a week early. Anyways, let's just go with that. And luckily I went as soon as I saw they were back in stock, because I check every morning. As soon as I saw they were back in stock, I went in and I ordered enough for the backlog that I had that I missed getting the first time, plus the ones I wanted, plus a couple extra. These are sold out again. But it does say that there's another batch coming in beginning of October sometime. I forgot what the date was. But I don't know, like some of the stuff is as it sells out, as it gets closer to the end of the catalog, which is the end of December, it's going to stop. They're going to stop restocking it. So I want to make sure that this is what I was trying to do in the background, that if there's anything you want, you let me know. Like I said, I check daily. If stuff comes in early, comes back, boom, I'm in there. I need to order more paper and adhesives and envelopes and stuff. So I'm saving those so that every time something comes up, if I need to order, I can put in a group order that meets the $100 minimum. Because if I got to pay shipping, I'm maximizing my shipping. That's what I do for everybody. This is the other thing that came out this week. It is called Celebrate the Miracle. They originally tried to release this set in July, but a bunch of people who saw it really early, like the morning it came out, and sometimes you can see because the European and the Australian demonstrators will start seeing stuff 8, 12 hours, whatever it is, earlier than we do. And there was a furor when it first came out about some of the stuff. And I've learned so much more about Hanukkah just watching the process of them doing this. So Stampin' Up! Pulled the set back and reworked it, and it's back out again now. So they had a group of Jewish demonstrators who were like a little focus group and helped them fix this set so that it was what it should have been to begin with. Stampin' Up's very good that way. They will never intentionally do something that might offend or that might minimize anything. And as soon as they found out, like that morning, they pulled it. Before it even went live in North America, it was pulled and we couldn't even order it. So one of the things I learned is on the dreidel, there are 4 different letters of the alphabet, and the original one had the same pictures on it. And they said there's only 4 on it. You show 4 sides, show all 4 letters. And they spell out the 4 letters translate into something like the miracle lasted 8 days or something. I can't remember now the exact what it says. And they all have ranking. And depending when you spin them, depending which one you get, depends whether you put in a piece of gelt, pull out a piece of gelt, give one to your neighbor, half one. I don't know. There's 4 different actions. I can't remember. Anyways, I was having it was fascinating learning about Hanukkah and dreidels and all this stuff as I was listening to all these things. So this is an awesome set. This is a put it in your stash, keep it for life kind of thing, because people have been asking for a Hanukkah set for years. Since I started 13 years ago, I have seen them say, how come there's no good ones? And every now and again, there'll be like a sentiment in one of the other ones there'll be like a happy Hanukkah sentiment or something. There's apparently also quite the debate about how you spell it, which way. And I think it just depends on the person, the family, the community. So this one spells it both ways. It's all good. There's a little spin, spin, spin. Oh, I'm loving this set. But anyways, yeah, if you want this, let me know, because I don't know how long it will stay in stock. If it sells out and is that popular, I suspect that they would restock it at least once. But I do know, because I looked it up, that Hanukkah begins on the 7th of December this year. So if you want it for that, you don't want to be waiting on it. So that was another new one this year. Sorry, this week. Okay, let's show fun stuff now. Figure out somewhere to put my iPad so it's not in the way. Okay, so it's October. It's time for a new wreath. Oh, I had so much fun making the wreath. Ta-da! So there's October's wreath that says thankful. And I did put mine at a jaunty angle, but if it was hanging, like here, it might look like it's crooked, but if it was hanging, like the way it always hangs on the balance is the way it is, but you would see that this is at a jaunty angle and it says thankful. And I am very thankful. I am thankful for so many things. And pumpkins. And I did start to try to use the die set I had that had pumpkins in it, which was this pumpkin, which, as you can tell, was not going to work. I had a whole bunch cut out and it just looked ridiculous. I was like trying to stack, 40 pumpkins. It was never going to fill this wreath the way I wanted. So I hearkened back to my old school way of something I saw when I first started about how to make pumpkins. So I'm going to show you that afterwards. But right now I thought I'll show you the wreath. But there's 2 holidays in October, right? So once Thanksgiving is done, so for our American friends, our Thanksgiving, and now I say that and then I forget. I believe Monday is the 9th. I believe it's the 9th of October. Ours is definitely earlier than you. My brother lives in the States, so I know when the American one is, and I know ours is 2 months earlier. Yes, ours would be on the 9th of October. So when Thanksgiving is over, I mean, I'm thankful for the whole month, but then it starts to get into Halloween, right? And so maybe, and these are designed to change monthly, so you'll notice there's magnets. So maybe Halloween comes up, is getting closer, and maybe you want to lean into your Halloween side. So then, oops, just a minute, I got my spider web caught. So then, maybe you want things to be just a little more wicked. Then we have a Halloween one. Sorry, I caught my spider web on my eye. There we go. So then I just popped this off, and this is just propped in the leaves. And now we have a Halloween one with the cute little spider that hangs down. So yes, I'm having a lot of fun. I did sponge a lot of pumpkins though. Whew. So there's our Halloween wreath offering. Here, I'll put this back out of the way for now. I got to change it back to thankful. I'm not quite at Halloween yet. I'm still on the whole Thanksgiving thing. Okay, so every time I talk about being a demonstrator, I talk about how awesome it is, like the community of demonstrators. I love them. And earlier when I said we're part of a team, which is part of a bigger team. So the team that I'm on is Tamara's Trailblazers. And Tamara, and I want to say 14 others, I think there's 15 total, have a group of demonstrators who years ago kind of made a little group to help each other. And 3 times a year, this group of demonstrators, who are all very talented, very lovely ladies, and also very talented, give us a 1-day crafting experience. It's awesome. So they come on, they're all across Canada. They go right from BC to Ontario. I don't think anybody is in the East Coast. I think it's Ontario to BC, but there is a couple in BC, a couple in Alberta. There's at least 2 in Saskatchewan. One, actually, I think 2 of them are in Manitoba. And then there's 3 or 4 of them, I think, are in Ontario. And we just go through every 45 minutes, we do another project. They show us a project, we do it. So my personal challenge while we do this is to try to keep up. I don't prep anything ahead of time because I'm never that prepared, but it's just so much fun and we get so many good, cool ideas. So I didn't quite, I had lots of interruptions, having a sick kid at home and a puppy and there was just lots. So I only have 8 of the 12 projects done, but I'm going to show you those ones. And then hopefully this week I will have time to finish the other ones and I will show you that. So the first one with Elizabeth, who is in Ontario. I can't always remember the towns. So I'm just gonna go with Ontario. So this is the Winter Meadow Suite, and it is, oh my God, it's just beautiful. And I realize now I'm not getting like the full effect of how beautiful these colors are. These are both foil. It's just so pretty. And this card does open up. Oops, a little too high, but it is also a bay window card. So it goes like this. And it sits down, it'll sit. Isn't it pretty though? So this, I can't even take credit for this because these are mine's slightly different than hers, but these were the stuff she used. And as soon as she held her card up, I was like, oh, pretty. So I basically just copied hers. Most of the time I do something totally different, but it was just so pretty. So that was the first one. The bay window card. See, again, now I know where to put things. There we go. And then Sue Phillips, who's out in Victoria. I'm pretty sure she's in BC. I'm pretty sure it's Victoria. Showed us how to make this adorable gift card holder. So it looks like a present, but when you pull the lid off, there's this little card in there. And if I was really doing it properly, I would just take, well, see, all my gift cards are in something right now, in a sample of something. I would just take 1 or 2 blue dots and put my gift card right there. And then it just goes back in the box like a present. Isn't that adorable? Oops, this minute. Now I can't. I'm at the wrong angle to see. And so this is just loosely on there. And of course, I had to be extra. And so I made it so that the bow goes on the top of the tree. So I have to carefully line mine back up so I don't jam this into the top of the tree. I absolutely love this set of tree dies. And then it's got the garland that perfect. Oh, I just love it. Anyways, adorable gift card holder. Shauna, who is a demonstrator. See, some of them I do remember, so I will say, and it's just because I know some other places a little bit better. If I've been there, I remember it. I'm just horrible with city names in Ontario and which one is where in relation to the other one. I don't know why. Shauna is in Moose Jaw. And she showed us how to make this lovely card. And there's something off with the colors. I will admit that. I'm not 100% there with the colors, but I liked this big leather chair. And I liked the book idea and the old. I don't know. And I love this. I did this on a different card before because it just cracks me up. It's always a great day when we spend time together. And yes, the person getting the card can be like, oh, that's so sweet. I might be talking about the books, but I'm just saying. But anyways, this one opens up like this. And then if I get it close enough, get the right angle going. I could see it there a minute ago. There we go. Can you see the perforations? Right, going all down there. Whoever gets this card, which you could write in, this pops off and becomes a bookmark. Is that not the most awesome thing? So do you remember, I don't know how many months ago, when the new set, I love the take your pick tool, right? This is our take your pick tool, or the pick your nose tool, as I tend to call it. When it first came out, it just had like a pokey end and this and a stylus, but then they've added different tips to it. So one of the new tips they added was this rotary cutter. So now with the rotary cutter, oops, that's the safety, you can pop it on. You can run your like this and make perforations so things pop out. Is that not the coolest thing ever? This card is just genius. It was a great design. Loved it. Okay, now I've made a muck up with that. Sorry, as my arm's in the way again. And then these may or may not actually still be in the order of how the day went. I'm not sure. And then Tamara showed us how you take one piece of cardstock and you draw some lines on it so you know where you're cutting. And then you basically just stamp kind of down the middle and a little bit on the sides of it. And then you cut it into 5 pieces and you mount it on the cards and boom, 5 cards. And this set is called Joy of Noel, I think. Joy of Noel. Oh my God, I got one right. Woohoo! Joy of Noel. And I bought this stamp set for this one stamp. It's got lots of cool stamps in it, but I love it. I love this bundle. And then remember how I told you about that new stamp set? That's the label. I love it. And it happens to fit those just perfectly. And then the little shakers there added on for decoration. I love it. So this actually went together much quicker than you probably would assume. It's just a fantastic way to make like a little set of cards. And if you're making somebody a gift, like cards as a gift, you make this and then make just kind of like a bag or a box or a tag or something that matches. It's awesome. Love these. And then we made a fractured card, which is normally, I don't know, I think I made one last week. These are very popular right now. They're all over. If you look up fractured card, they're all over. And generally they have a square in the middle that is put like a diamond, but a square. And then the pieces go off of it. But Tracey never does what she's told. So I decided I wanted to try to use this piece of the DSP that says boo on it. So mine turned out like slightly different, but that's the whole point. It was playing. And then you see those little bats? They glow in the dark. I love this little skeleton. He cracks me up. Anyway, so that was the fractured card we made. And then it just so happened that these little strips of DSP, they all say boo, eek, boo, eek. I can't make it focus because I can't hold still. Anyways, trust me. It says, so all of the things, all the strips actually have words on them too. I thought it was cute. And then possibly my favorite, and it might have taken me way too long to make, was Barb, who is in Winnipeg, one of the places in Manitoba that I can remember, was showing us a slimline card, and her card had the new set of Christmas lights on it, and it said, "Let's get lit." And it was super cute because with the letter dies, you can spell whatever you want on a card. So what she made was a slimline card. So slimline cards, there doesn't seem to be one standard size. I've noticed they just seem to be long and skinny, and they can be small cards that are long and skinny. So this is the size of a regular envelope that you would put like a business letter in. So that is the size that this card goes in. Look at this card. We have a stamp set out, crafting. Okay, I'm allowed one right answer, live, apparently. It is called Crafting with You, Crafting with Love, Crafting with You. And it's got all these different little bits and pieces in it. So I've got my twine, my ruler, and my little snips. And then I don't know, I'll just use the word anatomically correct little paper trimmer. So I basically cut 3 different things. There's a layer of window sheet here. There's a layer of this color and a layer of this color, because I wanted it to anatomically match my paper trimmer. So this is the part that clears up. And apparently by holding it that close, I've now completely screwed up the focus. Focus here, please. Trying really hard to hold it still. Somebody did this once on their video. Ooh, there's my finger. Oh, there we go. I think I went too fast last time. So anyways, yes, I wanted, and you can even see the little scoring blade and the little cutting blade. Oh my God, this die is so much fun. Anyway, so this was the one I made for that. And it is a fun set to play with. And for all you crafters out there, it also has knitting stuff in it and sewing stuff in it and painting. Just a minute. I'm trying not to knock everything on the floor. So this is the one I use for that. So yes, there's our big shot. There's a sewing machine, woolen knitting needles, a little basket. I don't know if every knitter keeps their wool in a basket, but somehow in my head they do. And painting. And then there's the embroidery hoop, the easel, basket, snips, a whole bunch of other little buttons, lots of little, oh my goodness, it's awesome. Anyways, I had a ton of fun with that. So that's what we did on that project. Now, let's go back to pumpkins. because I'm rambling a lot and I really would like to be wrapped up on time. Okay, so this is all I did, right? Remember how I said these are designed to be moved, so they have magnets behind all the different pieces. And come November, when the pumpkins come off, there's magnets there too. So that's how that works. So we'll take our little spider web off. So these were my pumpkins that I made. And these are all brushed. So here's the basics of making a pumpkin. And sometimes you just have to think outside the box. And I meant to get one more thing ready, so bear with me for 1 second, because while waiting, there we go. While waiting in the doctor's office today, I was scrolling through Facebook looking for, I look for memes and pretty cards, right? That's what I look for. Now that the news is out, I don't even get to see headlines to see if anything interesting happened. Which apparently a couple interesting things did happen today. Anyway, one of the cards I saw, this is not the right one, just a minute. It is Nested Essentials, which is exactly what I was looking for. But as it turns out, Nested Essentials is not what I want. What I wanted was Countryside Corners. As soon as I opened it, I'm like, that's not right. Countryside Corners, that's a different one, ignore that. So this is Countryside Corners. So what I saw was somebody had taken these dies, and what they did was they cut, and I didn't have time to do it from getting home and supper and all those things. They cut 3 of them and they layered them like this. And they did what I'm going to do with these little pieces here, but they did them with these ones. And then they put the little stems and leaves on them, and they just look like 3 pumpkins. And they just had them on the front of a card. So is that not clever? So just, yeah, think outside the box. But it's pumpkin season, so I'm going to give you all the pumpkin tips. Oh, I should have saved that picture. The other one I saw while I was looking on Facebook was somebody who said instead of carving the pumpkin this year, they took their pumpkin, they cut like the 2 eye holes and a hole for the mouth, spread peanut butter over like everywhere that they had cut out, and then left it out in the yard for a couple days for the squirrels to chew on. And then they took it back, and it was like grisly looking. It was all it was a pumpkin, but just the way it was chewed and some of the insides were still showing up a bit. It was the perfect way. So you want to save yourself carving a pumpkin. That's a genius idea too. Mostly I'm just going to tell you how to do things on a paper. So, plus I have a question for you. So these can be done in whatever size. Like you noticed on the wreath there, a bunch of different sizes. Here's some more other ones. I've been working on other projects. They're all pumpkins. It's pumpkins all day. I can't decide. I asked Mary about this too. I'm like, I can't decide if you can use the scallop. This is from the punch. Right? Most of them are dies, but we have the double oval punch, and it makes one smooth oval and one scalloped one, and they fit on top of each other. But I can't decide if this scalloped edge is okay or not. and it's kind of cool, but is it weird? Because the pumpkin's not really like that. But some pumpkins are. Anyways. Vote now. Can you make a scalloped pumpkin, or is that just weird? So, and all that was it's the same thing, right? It was just the scalloped pieces instead of the other one. So here's the basics of making it. And if I was doing this on one of these pieces, I threw away my other piece. I had a piece of paper on here that was so soaked in orange ink from sponging the edges of so many pumpkins. I ended up throwing it away. So I did tone on tone. I imagine you could do, actually, you know what? Every other pumpkin on my desk, on my wreath, all the ones that I made for everybody else's kit, I did them all with pumpkin pie. But I am curious. And so, as I like to roll, let's do things live. Let's not try things first. Let's just do them live. I am curious what if it would look better or worse with a darker color. So we're about to find out. I unfortunately don't have 3 of those. Why do I only have 2 of those? Anyways, this is all I did for the edges of the pumpkins, right? So if you look at these pumpkins, and they are totally uneven. There's not one pumpkin that's the same, but it doesn't matter. It's just to give you a bit of distinction. So if you look at that, all I did was just kind of sponge along the edge. Little circles. When I did it the first time, my fingers were, oops, So, oops, that's always good when you're doing something live. Oops. Okay, so it doesn't matter though. Nothing matters. It's nature. They all look different. So, and I don't actually know. I'm sure there's an artistic answer to, you go in circles, or because at one point I was just doing this. I was just going back and forth like this to get the edges. Okay, so I'm going to show you why that oops didn't matter. Because I also, as I was doing them the one time, completely stuck my finger in the ink pad when I went to hold the ink pad down. Instead, I stuck my finger right in it. So then I had to try to finish my pumpkins with my finger daintily held in the air so I wouldn't get big fingerprints of it everywhere. Okay, so that's all I did. On every one of the ovals, you just go around the edge. And yep, it's messy and uneven and it does not matter. So where I said, whoops, that was because I got a big gob of chocolate. Or this is pecan pie. But the thing is, it doesn't matter, because let's pretend I actually had 3 of the right ones, because I don't know what happened to the 3rd one of these. Excuse me while I try that. There we go. Let's just pretend. So, no, that's not going to work. It's just going to look funny. Okay, so if you do this and you make a mistake, just make sure that it's the one that goes behind. See, that's why it doesn't matter. So this is why I'm showing you 2 things. I don't know. Good thing that wasn't my only one, because I said I don't know what happened to the 3rd one. So these ones are sponged on the edges because you need to be able to see the distinction. But then I thought, if we just want distinction, how about we just emboss them? So now we're going to try, because I haven't actually put this together because I just did it. So I embossed these. So here's what I would recommend. Punch out your ovals or die cut your ovals first and then emboss them. Embossing sometimes shrinks them a little bit, or, but it definitely softens up the fibers in the paper. And if you're too close to the edge of paper, or if your paper is too soft, when you go to punch it, instead of cutting in the punch as cleanly, sometimes it gets kind of pushed down a bit and you just get rough edges. So I don't punch after I emboss. I would always punch it out first, and then I just put it through the embossing line. So here's your options. At first I thought, I'm going to do this. These are our 2 new ones. They're called cherry patterns. And I love them. And I made a whole bunch of cards with them. But then I decided this one was too big. Like, my pumpkin wasn't that big. And I was going to go with this one. And I was like, this one will work. I don't think this one will. So then I went and grabbed a different set of them. So these are ones that are in the annual catalog. They came out last year. And they're stripes and splatters, I'm pretty sure is what the name of them is. And this one has stripes and this one has splatters. And that's what I ended up using, because I think you need a bit smaller. It doesn't necessarily have to be like tiny, tiny dots or anything, but I think you need like closer to get less negative space, I guess, on them. So that's what I did. So once I punched out my little circles, I just put them in my embossing folder. And I made sure, in this case, because they have stripes on them, and I didn't want them all wonky, I made sure they were straight, closed it up, and embossed it. I fit 2 of them in there. And then I made this other pumpkin I made with the splatters. And then the leaves, I ended up doing the leaves with this one because I really wanted to use it. And because I figured, well, I embossed the other things, I might as well emboss the leaves. So he's just got like little cross hatching on him, and it worked out perfectly. I did not emboss the stem. And why? Because in my head, that's really funny. Oh, I was going to say you can't even see the stem, but there it is. In my head, I thought it was very funny because on a pumpkin, the leaves in the pumpkin are fairly smooth. It's usually the stem that's really knobbly. So I decided to go opposite. Anyways, this is how you make a pumpkin. I'm just going to use glue dots because it's easier. So if you have any, like I said, bad sponging, or if you happen to get a really rough edge, or if you happen to be die cutting and you don't notice that your thing is not lined up and you cut a chunk off, make that one be the one that goes underneath. So these are going to overlap. It doesn't matter which way you overlap them, you're going to overlap them. Oh, here, before I put the glue dots on, I will show you something. So here's the other thing. So we can line these up straight, and we can put this one in the middle, and we get a fairly square, for lack of a better word, pumpkin. When you go to glue them together, you could also put the tops of your ovals towards each other, and you get more of a pear-shaped pumpkin. Or you could put the bottoms together, and you get more of a kind of apple heart-shaped pumpkin. Or if you overlap them a lot, you get tall, skinny pumpkin. So you can make, even using just the same, like these are the ones on this wreath, and some of them have other ones in front. So this one, I pushed them closer together and made it tall and skinny. And that one I was a little heavy-handed on so it's a bit darker. This one, the tops are pushed together a little bit. This one is flat out square because I wanted it to cover a whole bunch of area, but then I put stuff in front of it. This one is just turned a little bit towards the top, and then this one is fairly square. So these are different size ovals, but even if you had all the same size ovals, you can still make the pumpkins look like slightly different shapes just by how you put them together, right? And this kind of pear-shaped pumpkin is to me seems like a very common shape. So between that and just the straight up, or the skinny straight up, those seem to be the most common ones. So what we're doing, now that I've rambled enough about pumpkin shapes, is we are just going to put adhesive or whatever. In this case, I'm just using glue dots, and we're just going to overlap these a little bit. And I'm going to turn mine just a little bit. We're just going to overlap them. And then on the front panel, there we go, we are going to put 4 dimensionals. And it does not matter what size your pumpkin is. You put 4 dimensionals. If your pumpkin is bigger, use bigger dimensionals. If your pumpkin's smaller, use small ones or cut them in half. These are pieces off the edge. But we want 2 on each side because we want to pop it up and we don't want it to be all saggy. But if you put 1 on either side, then especially if it's on a card where somebody's going to move it, your pumpkin's going to end up moving, right? So you always want to make it nice and secure. So you want 4. And that's part of the overlapping, is to make sure we have somewhere to stick these things to. So we're putting 4 of these on. And between the either sponging or embossing, that gives you the difference in like pieces, so you can kind of distinguish them. This is the final step that gives you that extra little bit of volume and makes it look. And then I'm popping this one down in the middle. I'm just going to give it a little squish. So now my little solid piece of pumpkin looks like a pumpkin. And because I've got those dimensionals, it looks rounder, right? Now I could do it the easy way and put the stuff on the back before I put it together, but I don't like to do it that way. I like to do it afterwards. So now I take my stem, and in this case, I always use it. Sometimes I'll use tear and tape depending on the pumpkin, or I'll use my seal, but for this, I always just use one. So I've put this on the front of my piece, and I will show you. Did I put it away? Yeah, I did. So to get my pumpkin stems, this is the trunk of the tree. We had a punch years ago that had a tree on it. Stand by one. Just gotta see which one of the multitude of things on my shelf I put it in. There we go. Sorry, I'm coming back. I swear to God, I'm coming back. I just can't find what I was looking for. There we go. So this pen is what I used. And I basically just, here's the pumpkin stem, is this bottom part of the tree. So when I punched it, I just put it in a chunk and I just punched it up to the, well, I went a little bit more so I'd have something to put the glue dot on, but I just went up to there. So that's all the stem is on the big pumpkins. And then on the little pumpkins, like these ones, it's the stem off the apple. I hoard punches, I'll admit it. I have a ton of retired punches because punches are so awesome for so many things. So I keep all the current ones in a certain place, and then I have like an entire shelf of retired punches. So now I have it on the front of my stem, and I'm just going to go and stick it on the back there. And I'm sticking it on the back of the front piece, just because. And then I'm taking one leaf, and you can do this however you want. I'm going to take one leaf and I'm going to stick it like this, and I'm going to put one leaf like this, because this is a standalone pumpkin. On these ones, I did whatever. These ones are 2. This one's just got 1. That one's just got the one tucked behind, and this one has the bigger ones. So there's lots of different ways you can do it. I happen to like this little two way of doing it. So this glue dot just goes on the front, and we pop it down. And this one, because I want it to stick to the thing, I'm putting it on the front again. And then I'm just going to tuck it under. And if you happen to hit, I didn't this time, but when I was making it on the video for the calendar or the wreath people, of course, I went like this and I exactly hit my dimensional. So if so, just like trim off the stem or whatever. You don't actually need it to be there, but you could just trim it so that it fits there, or just kind of slightly move it. And then I just kind of give that a squeeze. And there's another pumpkin. So what I like though is the idea that you could have different ones. You could emboss them all differently. You could have some that were embossed and some that weren't embossed. And then once sorry, I can't see any comments, but once I look at the comments and decide what you guys think, maybe the weird scalloped pumpkin joins the family too. Is that not fun? Ta-da! Pumpkin-a-palooza. Oh, there we go with the pumpkins. I have been having a lot of fun with pumpkins. I will tell you that. So I see we're time to wrap up because I'm not going to go over because that was a quick craft and it should stay quick. So if you have questions about any of the things, reach out. If you are looking to get the Hanukkah set, if enough people ask me for stuff, I'll put in a group order. Otherwise, next group order goes in next Tuesday, because next Tuesday there will be a new kit. I will be able to order my stuff for on stage. I will be able to order from the new online exclusives, which I can't show you yet, but I will when I can find them again. And I still need paper and envelopes to restock some of my stuff. So I'll for sure be putting orders in. So just let me know if you want to get in on them. If your order is close to $100, like 96 or more, shipping doesn't matter whether it's a group order or whether you order it direct yourself. But if you have a smaller order, then you definitely save money by putting it in the group order, and then I only charge you the 11% instead of the $10.95. And yes, if you want to take part in that awesome, where did I put my paper? This awesome starter kit deal. Let me know if you have questions, you need to know anything, you need to know what to expect. I will tell you exactly what happens and what you can ignore and what you deal with and how I'm available for you if that's what you want. This starts on the 3rd of October. The 3rd of October is going to be a very busy day. Lots of stuff is going to go. It's also the start of a new Stampin' Up! Year for demonstrators, which means there's going to be a ton of people ordering things on the 3rd of October to get them into this next year or into the next quota if they need to. It's just one of those business things, but which doesn't affect any of you guys, but just know that the 3rd of October, next Tuesday, is going to be a lot of orders going in. So if there's anything you want, let me know, because I will wait up and put the order in just after midnight so that anything that anybody wants we get, or at least we have the best chance of it. But yeah, things are gonna go quick. But yeah, this is just such a good deal. So let me know if you're at all interested or have any more questions or want to talk about any of that stuff. Folks, that is What's Up Wednesday, and I can't believe I came in a couple minutes under time too, which is good because I tend to ramble lately. And again, I'm very thankful for you all. Thank you for joining me. I will go back and try to find the comments and respond to any of them because I have no idea why they never did show up for me here. Thanks, everyone. Have a great week, and I should be back on Friday. Take care.